Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is the day we talk tech. We're talking tech and English with the BizChicks. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the BizChicks. We just want to welcome you to the show today. We are looking forward to hearing from Terry Johnson online everywhere, all the way from New York City, and from Dr. Tachi, all the way from Florida. So we are covering you from coast to coast. We are just so happy to have you. We'd love for you to be a part of the Biz Chicks community. If you have an opportunity to take a little break today, we'd like you to text biz to 33777 and become a part of the Biz Chicks community. Also, we want you to know that this coming Saturday, we are having a workshop. We'll be talking about that more later on in the show.
Mhm.
And we just want to get this party started. How you doing today, Fran?
I am doing very well. Welcome to
Good.
everybody live, and we got Carolyn over here in Clubhouse,
Hey, Carolyn.
and or is it could be Caroline?
Caroline. Okay.
Yeah. So, if Caroline or Carolyn, if you would like to pop in and say anything during the course of this episode,
Broadcast.
you are more than welcome, and we'll get you into. We'll bring you up on the stage. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
learning language for Clubhouse. Okay,
Yeah.
so as always, we start our program off with this day in tech history,
Mm-hmm.
and or this week in tech history. So, first story, October 9th, 1876. Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Watson demonstrate the first two-way phone call over outdoor wires. Bell and Watson made their call between the cities of Boston and Cambridge. I did say 1876. Pac-Man Fever begins October 10th, 1980. Midway releases video game Pac-Man to arcades in North America, while the Japanese release under the name Puckman occurred in May of that year. The game's popularity did not take off until its release in the United States. Pac-Man will become the first true mega hit video game in history, sparking Pac-Man Fever and kept catapulting the video game industry into mainstream culture.
Okay.
I remember Pac-Man.
I
I
loved Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man was easy. It didn't take like genius to
And it was relaxing.
right. It didn't. Yeah, you're right. Because some games now, boy,
It's very stressful.
the Comptometer is patented in October 11th, 1887, Dorr E. Felt is granted the second of two patents on his comptometer, the first practical and commercially successful key-driven mechanical calculator.
Okay.
Various comptometers were in continuous production from 1887 to the mid 1970s.
Mm,
That is a long time. That's almost
15
almost
years?
100 years.
Oh, 18. Oh,
Yeah. October 11th, 1958, NASA launches Pioneer 1, the first spacecraft launched by the newly formed space agency. Originally intended to fly by the moon, a launch
mhm.
malfunction due to a programming error caused Pioneer 1 to only attain a ballistic trajectory, which caused it to fall back to the Earth after 43 hours of flight. However, some useful scientific data was returned by the spacecraft. Next story, cellular goes live in the US October 13th, 1983. Ameritech Mobile Communications executive Bob Barnett makes a phone call from a car parked near Soldier Field in Chicago, officially launching the first cellular network in the United States. Atari launches home video gaming. October 14th, 1977, Atari releases their video computer system known as the VCS and later as Atari 2600. It took 2 years for the VCS to gain traction, but by 1979, it was the best selling gift of the Christmas season. Once it was established, the Atari VCS took the market by storm, popularized home video gaming, and helped cement the video game. I remember the Atari. Um, you can do Space Invaders and some other asteroids and stuff like that. Okay. And then October 15th, 1878, Thomas Edison and a group of investors from the Edison Light Company Uh, they formed the Edison Light Company. The goal of the company was to provide financial support for Edison's electric light experiments and work on developing an electrical lighting system for an entire city. The long lasting carbonized filament light bulb was developed by Edison while working for this company. Eventually, this and several other Edison companies were merged to form the General Electric Company. And that is your week in tech history.
Oh my. Okay. Well, thank you, Fran. I had
Yeah.
to run and get my sunglasses. It's so
Oh, yeah.
bright out here, and looking at my screen, I was like, I can't see. All
That
right.
is okay because you just out all in the sun, 72 degrees. Uh,
Here
in
in Pennsylvania.
right, and
Yeah.
it's 42 degrees here in Sacramento, California.
Who knew
Yeah,
that there would be such a flip in the weather?
right.
Well, I have two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
And I enjoyed that segment hearing about Atari as I'm running through the house with my headphones looking for my sunglasses. Oh my gosh. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that are you aware that there is going to be an increase in Social Security benefits? And not
What?
only is not only is it going to be an increase, it's going to be 5.9%. It's almost 6% increase.
Okay, where are we getting this money?
I have no idea,
Oh.
but it's still not keeping up with inflation. And then they were talking about the fact that most income owners only get raises of 1.6%, and then they have to really struggle to get that. So I don't know how people are going to keep up, but I want people to know that if you are receiving Social Security, you should be getting some good news around December, which is timely for
Mm-hmm.
the shopping season. And they said it should last through January of 2022. I don't know if they've ever really taken back money from Social Security, like if we experience deflation,
No, they
inflation.
don't.
That, well, that to me is very interesting. And I heard someone talking about it yesterday. I said, "What? It's going to do what?" That's 8 million people will get a 5 points. Is it 8 or 80? I think it's 8 million people are going to get a 5.9% increase.
Wow.
I know, I know. So that's what's on the horizon. The other thing is that I was looking on The Verge, and they were talking about how you doing this morning, TJ?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, glad to have you in the house. They were talking about how Clubhouse needs grew too fast. They have an article from the CEO talking about how they really hadn't anticipated that growth. And then the thing that I thought was interesting in the article, they mentioned that since Bloomberg reported in April that Twitter had held talks to acquire Clubhouse for $4 billion.
Shut up. Wait.
Really?
Later that month, the company raised a new round of funding led by venture firm Anderson Horowitz, giving it the same valuation, quadruple the level Clubhouse had received in January.
So
Clubhouse is And so the CEO says, some of the problems they had was because they grew so fast. They hadn't anticipated the the growth, and then they weren't prepared. It's just at times Clubhouse also struggled to police misconduct on the app, drawing criticism that it wasn't doing enough to root out anti-Semitism and other problems. But basically, the CEO said that there were only 8 of them running the company.
But
Mhm.
here's the thing, they were still running the company, and those are good problems to have. It's like, okay, we got to figure
Growth.
this out, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or fold. But they didn't sell to Twitter.
No, they didn't.
So they could have,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think we would have had Clubhouse had they sold to Twitter.
No, because they would have got Twitter would have gotten rid of it or folded it into Twitter because they were working in their own Twitter
Right.
And
spaces.
yes, and everybody didn't want to be folded into Twitter. Everybody doesn't understand Twitter. So,
Right.
Because it would have been would have been like Facebook, where you have all of these things going on. Clubhouse has one thing going on, where
yes.
you come in and there's a room for people to gather together and talk. That's it. There's no
Mhm.
other feeds and other stuff happening, and so you're not going to get congested. It is just conversation.
Right.
And I think it stunned people because there are other platforms that offer audio only. You know, what was that thing we had initially and then they folded it into something else? Oh, anyway, audio's been going on a while, but for some reason, Clubhouse just had that timing and the simplicity, and people loved it. And the whole invitation thing.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, because if they'd have opened up the gates, there would have been even more problems.
Yes, yes.
Right.
So I think that that's one of the main things that contributed to its growth. The fact that you could um, customize your audience. You could, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You could decide who you wanted to invite. So it's sort of like having your own circle of friends in a customized environment, and then they invited people with similar interests, letting the audience determine who the audience is going to be by
Okay.
invitation. So those are the two things that I wanted to say. TJ, I was saying earlier that Social Security is going to get a 5.9% bump. Uh,
Oh, okay, good.
mhm, mhm.
We're not mad at them.
For,
Not quite sure where the money's coming from, but we're not mad at them.
hey, you know what I mean? It can make all the difference between whether or not people are able to afford food versus medication. So it's only like $97 or something
Mhm.
for the hot people with the highest Social Security income. But that $97 can make a significant difference if that's the only thing you're living off of.
Right.
So
I want to say
that's
hey to people in the clubhouse, Caroline, Sean, and Donna. Is Dr. Tachi? I'm not sure if she's coming on live or if she'll be in clubhouse today, but we'll find out.
mhm. So that's it for me, guys.
All right. Thank
So
you
let's
so much.
mm-hmm.
And
Let's
then
get
now we got TJ all the way from New York City with our social media news.
Yes.
This week.
Hello. Hello. Happy
hey.
Friday, everybody. I'm pulling up my notes. They are syncing to my device,
Mm-hmm.
and it says note unavailable. I don't know. Let
That's
me
because
Things
bring
that
it
it's
make you
up.
go,
quick.
I want to say hi to everyone over here on the live stream. We're just so glad to have you today. Let us
Yay.
know who you are in the house, and we'd like to give you a little shout out.
Yeah. Okay. Now I got my notes. All right. So this week in social media news, let's start with Clubhouse since we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting what's going on with Clubhouse and the audio spaces division. I don't know, area of social media that took off in the pandemic. It was like the perfect storm for it.
Mhm.
Yes,
So, people were okay, we can't go out and in real life, but what gives us that feel like we're talking to people?
like we're connected.
Clubhouse.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So that was the right move. It was lightning striking in the right place. But now Clubhouse has added a music mode to the app.
Okay.
and you will be able to listen to live music. That's what they're saying here. If you're a musician on Clubhouse or you love listening to live music on the app, the new music mode optimizes Clubhouse to broadcast your music with high quality and great stereo sound. Clubhouse, they're saying Clubhouse doesn't say what it means by high quality, but I have heard, there are some music rooms and musician rooms where people, I know, when Broadway was offline, a lot of the Broadway companies were going on doing the parts and singing and everything, and I know some musicians are on there. So I heard some complaints about the sound quality not
Mm.
being there. So I guess Clubhouse heard that, complaint, and decided to do something about it. So they're allowing you to hook up professional equipment like a USB mic or a mixing board and use it during your broadcast. So I think that makes the people, musicians and people who are into sound like that, where
Mm-hmm.
they have that equipment, they'll have a higher quality broadcast. So that's important to them.
Nice.
All right. And they're saying you can turn on music mode by tapping the three dots in the top right corner of a room, selecting audio quality, and then choosing music. If you just want to
Mm.
listen to the music, you don't have to do any of that. I think this is for people who, they're broadcasting, they have this soundboard, they have the USB mics, and they want a professional sounding
Yes.
um sound in the app.
Right. So it has high quality, normal, and low.
Right. And I did hear that was a complaint. I did hear about that on Clubhouse. People were complaining about, audio quality. So if that's important to you, then Clubhouse has heard your concerns. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll check that out. I'm not in Clubhouse right now, so anybody in Clubhouse, if they want to see, it doesn't say when the update went out. I'm assuming
Hmm.
it's out already.
Right, because I just saw it. I
It's
just
there.
tapped on there.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay, so Clubhouse, I've noticed whenever they, say, "Oh, we're doing this," they just put it's out, versus like Twitter say, "Oh, we're testing," we're
Uh-huh.
testing, and they don't know when it's coming out. So Clubhouse pretty much puts it out.
They
So
just launch. Uh-huh.
right, they just drop it.
Which is
Loving it.
sometimes pretty good. It's like, okay, let's just do this instead of having a committee meeting about it. Let's just do it.
You know what?
Mm.
I would be curious to see if that setting, the music setting, ups the quality of voice. Like if you're just speaking.
Okay, well, let me
Yes.
turn it on and find out.
Okay,
And
well,
then we can let our audience let us know uh, how
right,
it works.
right, because I want
Okay,
to
Yes.
so
know that.
now the audience members, that would be you, Caroline, Sean, and I think that's Donna Zyfinger from Green Earth
Green
Travel. So you
travel.
guys
Hey,
Hey,
can,
Donna's
Donna.
here. Hey,
yes.
Donna.
Okay, so Donna raised her hand. Let's see if there's a change in the in the.
Inequality.
Hey, Donna.
Hey,
So did you notice a change between before and when I just turned on the high version quality?
it doesn't, it did that beforehand, like before they made that change. I always notice like a difference when you're on
Oh.
the platform versus in the audience. So I don't know that I'm noticing, I'm not sure. I saw the notification this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, see, that's
so
what I was saying.
wait,
Clubhouse.
music now and check it out, or
Well, I can play music from my computer, but
I'm thinking this is
wait,
for
I can
people.
play music here. Hold on one second. You want to hear it? Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna
This
be
might.
interesting.
Mhm. This
Donna, I mean, TJ.
this might be for people who have the audio equipment, like they were saying. If you have a USB mic and a mixing board, maybe it's dependent on that.
Right, because you have to run your equipment
Through
through
the. It
and
might
not
be
just
because
picking
of
it
that.
up from the speaker.
Well, it was, we were just curious to know. So
Yeah.
as long as you
Okay.
can hear, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all we care about. If you can hear us talking,
Yes.
not playing any music.
Okay. Well, let us continue.
Yeah. Okay, so next on Pinterest. Pinterest has done some new efforts to address mental health and emotional well-being. That is the hot topic of the month.
Mhm.
There was what oh yes, it was World Mental Health Day on October 10th. So they launched a new project called Pinterest Havens
Mm-hmm.
Invest in Rest. Pinterest havens, invest in rest.
Mm.
It's an effort to create space where people can reflect on the global impact of mental health, both
Wow.
on Pinterest platform and in the world in general. Now, this is a hot topic,
Yes.
and I think I've mentioned before that if this is an area you're interested in as like setting up a business or doing something online, I said that mental health and wellness was
Yes.
going to be a big industry. And I don't know how many times I said it on when I said it, but I said it before. So now you see what's going on with Facebook. Facebook is being called to the carpet, what rightly so, because of mental health and wellness issues, body positivity, and all that. So I was saying that if you're interested in this space, in this industry, and you don't have to be a psychiatrist like or a psychologist, you don't have to go to college for it, but there are some areas where you might pick up some training and say I want to be in the wellness area, or I want to do this, or I want to help people that you would have to have some training, yes, but I'm thinking you don't have to go get your 4-year degree unless you want to. I mean, that's a personal choice, but this area is growing and it's going to get bigger. There's going to be businesses coming out of this, and I just, I'm just saying, if you're interested in this industry, look into it, see where you can fit in, and
Mm-hmm.
do good, because this is hot. This is getting going to get bigger. So Pinterest has Pinterest Havens. It has a variety of mental health tips and exercise routines, inviting users to take time out of the day to relax and take a break, and
Mm-hmm.
it's exploring the relationship between mental health and rest. What they're going to do, they're going to have idea pins, and idea pins are like the story. It's like little stories inside of Pinterest in the app. If you go in, it's the stories feature. It's called idea pins. So there'll be information there. They're saying from creators around the world, touching on concepts including bedtime affirmations, gratitude journal prompts, and tips for a mental reboot. So see, this is where it fits in, where I say you don't have to be, I'm Dr. So and so to
Mm-hmm.
be an authority. Just make it your area of interest where you learn all you can, and you get whatever training you can get. And then you can say, I'm the authority, I know about this, that, and that. So it doesn't have to be about, you know, um, having advice for it, on what I'm trying to say is on the level of being a doctor. That's not what
Yes.
I mean when I'm talking about mental health. There's other things that can be done because people are searching for that information. People are searching to feel better. They're stressed
Mm-hmm.
out. All of these things. So Pinterest has this Havens idea. So they're taking it a step further. They made a art installation in Chicago
Oh.
using this Havens idea. So they're saying it's on the south side of Chicago, curated by local artists. The installation works alongside the online Havens Community Board to encourage viewers to take a breath and focus on their well-being. They're also going to donate $80,000 to 3 Chicago organizations that are into mental health and wellness. So good job, Pinterest. And that I'm saying, if you're interested in that industry, go for it. It's the time.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. I want to make sure before I get to the big ones. Hold on. Twitter. Yeah, let's talk about Twitter. Twitter's
Mm-hmm.
been active this week. They have a tool. Twitter has a tool for removing unwanted followers on the web version. So you remove a follower without having to block them. And they tested this last month, so they rolled this out. So this is to quietly stop someone from seeing your tweets in their feed. It's on the followers tab, and then you click the 3 dot menu next to the user and select remove this follower. And this does, let me explain why this is different from blocking. When you block someone on Twitter, they know it. And for
Oh.
some reason on Twitter, this makes the troll people mad. and they try to retaliate.
So they gang up on you. Yeah.
Yeah, so they go around. They might create another account. So it's like blocking people on Twitter makes them angry. And I'm talking about famous people. Like I've heard some stories like this person blocked that, and then the person that's being blocked that's angry will take a screenshot and say, so and so blocked me. So it increases the pile up, or the trolling from the community.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's why they're putting this option, because it's like, why would you want this? So they're saying you remove the follower and then it's like a soft block.
Well, can I ask a question? Because on Facebook, when you block somebody, they don't know that they've been blocked.
Right.
So why can't
Twitter
we
didn't
do
do
that?
that. Twitter didn't do that, and they should. On Facebook, there's like 5 or 6 different ways to
Correct.
mute somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And there's levels. Like unfriend means you broke the connection. But you like for instance, you can mute somebody for 30 days and you don't see their post, but you're still friends. And they don't know this. They don't know that you blocked them. They don't know any of that. They just won't see any of your posts, and you won't see theirs. But Twitter, I don't know why they just won't. Why did they have to tell the person, well, so and so blocked you? That's like a little poking stick, like getting them angry.
That is oh, did you know what? They blocked you starting up stuff.
Because the person that was blocked and say you get blocked by a famous person, it's happened. I've seen it. The person will take a screenshot. Oh, Mariah Carey blocked me. Oh, whoever it is. And it's like, it's like ants getting stirred up in the nest or something. It's really weird. And it's on Twitter. Like Fran says, Facebook took a different approach. They were like, nobody needs to know. Why do we need to know that you unfriend or unmuted or you put them to the side or you don't see their notification? There's all different kind of ways in Facebook, but Twitter was like, okay, you're blocked. So now they brought this out to say, okay, they realized that people that would start another level of harassment. So now
it's offensive,
right?
And they use it to retaliate.
Right. So they're doing this. So it's when you're on Twitter, I say if you on Twitter, you have to have like a really thick skin and ignore the crazy people, the troll people, whatever, and go about your business, or just don't use it.
You don't there's that option.
You don't have to use Twitter at all. If you're being harassed on that level, don't use it unless you have to use it for work or something like that. So, but Twitter's trying to give these harassment tools. They're still fighting this fight where they're trying to do harassment, give people safety modes, and because it's just really, the guy that was in the White House before is the really one who's really stirred it up some more, even though he's not there. It's like those people are still there stirring up trouble. Okay, so more for Twitter. Twitter has rolled out its Spaces tab, but only on the iOS mobile app. Now, Spaces is their answer to Clubhouse, where you create audio rooms and people are invited to speak, and there's a stage and people in the audience, and you talk about a particular topic. So now, the only way to find a space before was if you were following people on Twitter and you go to your app and you see the little purple circle at the top. But now they're making a tab, and I was checking to see. Let me see. I was checking to see if I have it, and I don't have it, and I updated my app. So let me see if it's there today. I checked that. Nope, it's not there. So it'll be at the bottom when you're in the app. You have the bottom icons like home, search feature, the bell, and the envelope. So there would be a different icon there at the bottom. So keep a lookout for it. So you'll be able to find Spaces easily.
Okay. And
there'll be a curated list of active spaces, as well as a search function that you can use to look for conversations related to your interests. So, Twitter is trying to be topical. Like you can follow topics and interests and things that you like particular sports team or a celebrity or whoever. You can follow tweets that align with that instead of you having to search for that information yourself.
Okay. I got a question. Are you still in Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. because I saw something yesterday. So my husband's a basketball fan,
Right.
and he has his YouTube and he has a Twitter account and whatever. So yesterday, because he's in the middle of this game we're watching, and he was making comments. I'm like, you need to comment now because tomorrow it's going to be irrelevant
Right.
because we're in the middle of it.
Right.
So we went in, and there's a purple button that you can record
Oh,
An audio. Yes.
record audio,
Yeah.
and so you don't have to figure out how to spell something, or if you
Right.
spell something right, you can just say what you want to say and tweet it, and people
Oh,
can come and
nice.
listen to the tweet or your opinion about something. I said, this is genius.
Yeah, they've had that for a while. But unless you know about it, you don't know about it. But you
No,
can do. I mean, this feature was on Facebook years, like maybe 3-4 years ago. There was a feature where you could record audio on
Right.
Facebook, and you could put up a picture, and then it would talk over the picture, or you could just leave it blank. So this is because people may feel safer, and like you said, instead of typing out a whole bunch of stuff,
Yes.
and instead of going live on doing Twitter Live, which is video and audio, or doing a space, which means that you're inviting others you don't know, you could do this audio clip feature where you get to say what you want, post it up on Twitter, and go about your business.
Right.
So,
And so he had a person that listened to, tells you how many people have listened to it,
right.
whether or not they hearted it or whatever. But I was
Mhm.
like, oh, now see, and that's great for in the moment stuff.
Right.
Mm.
And they've had it for a while. I forgot to use it. I knew it was there. I just forgot to use it because it was like, okay, there's so many things to do. There's so many places to do things. You can go to Clubhouse. You can go to Twitter. Facebook is starting to roll out their audio, live audio feature more. So there'll be even more places. Right.
I would say this would be good for anybody if you, okay, here's the BizChicks tip of the week, da 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 da, and it's just an audio, not a whole long something.
Right.
Just
You could do a mini podcast. It's like doing a little mini podcast.
Right.
I have a thought about the game. I have a thought
Yes.
about the TV show that's on right now. And
Right.
I don't want to type it because, there's a limit, 280 characters. And then I got to do a connected tweet and a part 2 and part. Maybe I'll just speak it.
Right.
And it's
then
there.
there's that autocorrect thing too, where you
Right.
type something and it is not what you wanted it to be, and now you can't edit the tweet.
Right.
So
and then the audio feature, you can practice that as many times you want
before you post a tweet.
Right. You could just, I don't like that, delete it and start over.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, yeah. So I haven't seen a bunch of fanfare about it. I've seen people use it, but again, Twitter's like they're putting focus on monetization now, and they're putting focus on the Spaces tab because they're in a race with Clubhouse and Facebook.
And so, all of you who are here are BizChicks and people who are watching, if you have Twitter, use it because
yeah, use it. Twitter's a great tool for research, communication, focus groups. Like this is on my marketing Twitter. People ask questions all the time, and then it's to marketing people. Oh, what do you think about this? They ask the question, or they put a poll, or they say what they have to say. I've got some information, I want to share it with you, and then they just share it. And they, it's a wealth of information. You don't have to engage with anybody. Like I said, if you're worried about trolling, harassment, and stuff like that, if you're kind of sensitive to that, maybe you don't want to post anything. But you could do like Fran says, you can, say something with the audio feature, or just go on and enjoy the tweets. I do that a lot when I'm watching one of the TV shows, and I go on, there's a hashtag. I go look at the hashtag, I read the tweets during a commercial. I might respond, I might not. So you don't have to participate to use it. But it's a great tool.
Yeah, Mark says I have tons of audio in my archives. I've been talking into the void for decades.
Put them on Twitter. You never know what'll go viral.
Right.
So don't be afraid of Twitter. They're trying to do stuff.
I like that little feature. I was like, yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I know. I forgot to use it. It's when you go in to a new. Let me go to when you go into create
A new post.
a new post. It'll say
Mhm.
what's happening, and then at the bottom it'll have that little purple. It's like a speaker without the
Mhm.
speaker box, and it's purple.
Right.
And then there's the image, and then you type in. You can add a GIF, a GIF, however you pronounce it, a meme, a photo, whatever you want to put up.
Mhm.
What's happening? What do you want to share? So Twitter's good. Use it. Okay, so Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, one more thing about Twitter. This is not bad, but it's like Twitter is testing ads in the middle of replies to tweets. Now, let me explain this one.
Hmm.
So Twitter has an advertising feature where businesses can go on
Mhm.
and run ads. When you see them, they look like a tweet, but it has a promoted button that can grade on the bottom left of the tweet, so you know it's an ad. But that's when you're scrolling in your feed. They're trying to test it inside of a thread where people are talking to each other and responding, because that thread you have to tap in, I think it's C thread, I forgot what the button is, to see the responses to someone's tweet. And this is when it's like something really gone viral. There's a lot of responses. So Twitter wants in on the inside of the thread. So here's what Twitter's saying. They're going to put the ads under the first, third, or eighth reply to a tweet. The experiment is worldwide and applies to both Android and iOS users. So
Here's my
go ahead.
here's my question. Can you scroll past it, or
Yes,
does it?
but it's
Okay.
an ad.
Okay.
You can scroll past it,
All
but
right.
it's an ad.
It's still a
Where it wasn't there before. It
Hmm.
wasn't,
right.
because see, with Twitter, there's a feed. And
Yes.
when you post your tweet on Twitter, it goes into the main feed and people can scroll by it. But I've
Correct.
noticed, and some of the ads on Twitter, they look like a tweet that you might want to, oh, that
Open.
looks interesting. And I always catch myself. I say, oh, there's the promoted button. I don't tap it. But see,
Mhm.
people tap it. And
Yeah.
that's, that goes into the ad feature for Twitter. But that's in the main feed. But I'm talking about when you tap on a tweet and it has several replies.
Yes.
They want to be inside of that thread with ads, which it wasn't there
Yeah.
before.
Oh, so they want to butt in your conversation is
Correct.
probably what
So
they
every
doing.
first, third, and eighth reply to a tweet.
So they're
Wow.
gonna jump in. Hey y'all, that's
And the ads on Twitter, they look like tweets from people. So
So
you
when
will get
you
sucked in.
so this looks like you're standing in a circle talking to somebody, and somebody come breaking into the circle. Hey, you know what? You want to watch? We got a lot of gold toothbrushes here.
Yeah, you want to try this new chicken sandwich from Popeyes? And
Yes.
you're like, we're not talking about that. We're over here talking about the game, or we're talking about something else. So they want to jump in the middle of that. It's about ad placements. Now, Facebook has tons of ad placements. Facebook can be in the feed, in a group, on the side, in Instagram, in stories, in reels. That's what it's about. So the more places you can put an ad, the more money the app can make, because there's more places for people who run an ad to say, put me in the thread when they're talking about chicken.
Yeah.
And then Popeye says, well, I want to be in that thread. Because when they tap on it, there's a coupon, or there's a thing, or there's whatever the ad is, whatever the ad creative is, they get to watch it. So that's really what it's about. So we'll see. And see, now these, if you don't like ads, then this will make you angry. That's why I said this will make some people angry.
Yes.
But it is a test. So they're going to test to see how well they perform and if people complain about them.
Well, you mean like people? That's like people just butting in your conversation, and
Yeah, if it doesn't make any, you're
and
like
doing a commercial.
yeah. So more ads. All right. So let me yeah. So we got two things about TikTok. So TikTok is giving live streamers more ways to mute annoying people when you're doing a live stream.
Okay.
Now remember, you can go live on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. If you're on TikTok, you'll see it. I did notice that I'm following Yahoo News or something, and I get little notifications in on my phone that says, "Oh, Yahoo is inviting you to their live." I'm like, well, I don't want to go, but that's how they're getting people to come into their live stream. So now they're saying that on TikTok, the streamers will be able to temporarily mute people for minutes, hours, or the length of an entire live stream. And this is for trolls, people coming in saying things, annoying things, or trying to, harassment. They're saying something you don't like. Well, you can mute them. Now, I think on Paris, if you remember on Periscope, there was an option to do that, and then it would ask everybody watching, is so and so this comment, is this good or not, and people would vote on it, and that would get rid of the person from Periscope. So TikTok is now saying, okay, you're in charge of your live stream. If someone comes in disrupting it or saying things that you don't like, you can mute them. Okay. It says so. They're saying muting. They're saying muting. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you can do this on Periscope, but you couldn't do it on Twitter. Couldn't have them vote them off the island.
I'm not sure because I never did Twitter from Twitter. We always did it on Periscope because
right. Twitter. And like this live is going to Twitter right now.
Right.
But we don't know.
Well, I think you can from StreamYard, you can get rid of the comments. I don't know if you can block them.
Yeah. On StreamYard, yes, you can get rid of the comments.
Yes, you can block. Yes, you can delete and block. And so that would be.
You can put a user in a timeout.
Right.
Or block
them. We do have that option. So, well, you want to have that option when you're doing a live. You don't want people to come in and disrupt or say things or use words that aren't appropriate. You want to get rid of them. All right. So TikTok says muting a person will remove their entire comment history from the stream. And you also have the option on TikTok of turning off comments. You could just go live without comments, or you could filter out specific keywords. Now, I like that because YouTube will do that. YouTube will let you have a list or an area where you go in on your channel and you say, if people type in these words, their comment never shows.
That's good.
The comment will never show on live, and the comment will never be on your channel. So I suggest everybody where there's a place where you put, I think Instagram has it also. You put words that are offensive to you, and if somebody comes in and makes that comment, it never gets posted. So you don't have to go in and delete. Because see, some people that affects them too. I have to go in and delete all of these awful offensive things. Set up the mute list or the block list with keywords. Put the words in that you don't, if they type this word and also the different spellings, you won't see it. All right. Mark has a comment. Bring it up.
It's the online version of Squid Games. Who will survive the stream? $1 billion prize not included.
And this has gone as long as it's been live streaming. You've gone live. You've had to have the option. Okay, let me have my finger on the button to get rid of people, or if it pops up to ignore, or how you have to decide how you're going to handle it when you're doing live. And if it's you and a co-host, or if it's you alone, what am I going to do? If I go on Instagram Live or TikTok Live, what am I going to do? So that's why I said one of the things, and also YouTube, one of the things is set up that list so you'll never see it. It won't even get to you. And then, if there's some other words or comments that are like semi offensive, or you're like, oh, I might let that go by, then that you can handle on the fly. But you definitely have to get the practice of, people are going to comment. How am I going to handle it?
Right.
And some people will come in, trolls will come in to get you an angry reaction from you on camera. So that's another thing you got to go, well, do I want to do that? Do I want to react? Because you could just, ignore and go, well, I'm not going to let them, stop the show. So, all right. So TikTok has that feature. We're glad. And also TikTok has announced that they have removed 81 million videos for violations in Q2. They've removed 81,518,334 videos for violating its community guidelines or terms of service and it's saying that's less than 1% of the total videos posted. Now, what's the total video posted? During this quarter, not even the year, quarter, 8.1 billion plus videos were posted on TikTok, averaging about to 90 million videos posted each day. Oof, that's a lot. It's a lot. So TikTok is, they're bringing in their, this is what we're doing. This is our transparency. We're trying to keep, our guidelines and keep videos from coming in. But you really can't keep 100% of them out because they use AI, and TikTok says they use AI and human reviewers. They have actual people sitting there, reviewing it, but things still will get through the filter. Things that aren't supposed to be posted. Because people don't pay attention to community guidelines and rules and facts, and we know that from just being going around in the world. People do not like to follow rules. So
no, and they don't read the dialogue box when they signed up for it. They just click I agree, and didn't.
Yep, they don't read the terms of service. They get mad at the app. Oh, well, why are you doing? You didn't read the terms of service when you created the account. Go back and read it. Apple sends theirs out all the time. You must, before you get this update, you must agree, and they want you to read. Some of them won't let you agree until you read, until you scroll through it.
Right.
So there's no, there's no out to say, well, why are you doing this? We told you. And it's even in in the real world, your bank will send you documents all the time. This is the changes to the agreement that you have with us, and you must read them. And you can't go to the bank and say, well, why are you doing this? Well, we sent you paperwork. So that's the legal part of it.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to Instagram. Instagram will now let you practice live videos before you go live.
Oh.
So it's an option. I believe when you hit the Instagram live, it says, do you want this to be public or practice? And if you want to practice your live, go over what what are you going to say, and there's a practice feature. So you
like that.
Yeah, isn't that nice? And you can schedule a live broadcast up to 90 days in advance.
Woo!
And 90 days, that's a lot. And then you can share this to your post and your story. I'm going to go live in 2 weeks, or I'm going to do this next week, or whenever it is. So you will have that. And viewers can set a reminder for themselves not to miss the broadcast. Now, remember, there's a sticker in Instagram stories where you can set a countdown. So I'm thinking it's going to be like that when you send it to the stories. And then Instagram sends you a message. Oh, so-and-so is going live. Because you remember, you tap the sticker to say you wanted to be reminded.
Nice.
Also, so isn't that good? So they have the practice mode. So you can practice. This is great if you have guests coming on, because Instagram Live will let you go live up to 3 guests. So you all might want to come on and hit the practice. And that's practice. It goes live, but it doesn't go live to your viewers. It just you and the group of people. And then when you're ready, you go back out and then you hit the real live button. And so you might want to use that feature.
Nice.
All right. And also Instagram is testing an in-app feature that will notify you when there's a service outage. Now this goes back to last week when Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp Messenger was down and people lost their minds and they didn't know, well, is it down for me? Did they block me? So
did they block me?
Right. So this is one little piece of advice. If you ever go to any website and it's down and you don't know if it's you, I believe you can search, is it down for me, in Google. And there's a bunch of websites that will come up that will go and check the DNS and make sure everything's there. And they'll come back and say, it's down for you or it's down for everybody. They will let you know. So that's one thing you need to check. That was the first place I went when I was like, okay, what's going on with Facebook? And I just Google, is it down for me? Just Google that. Is it down for me? Is this website down for me? And there's a bunch of them. I can't give you one. There's a ton of them where it checks the website. So because people didn't do that, went to Twitter and I guess ran out of the house screaming, I don't have Facebook and Instagram. So Instagram says, we're going to put the feature up. But see, this is the thing. If they're down, how are they going to put the feature up?
How are we going to connect? Yeah.
Right.
That's my question. Okay, so Instagram's saying they're gonna have notify users when the platform is experiencing an outage or technical issue. Now, how do they do that? I want to know. We'll see, because you're out.
Well, if they have your email address.
No, this
No,
is
they
in the app.
don't.
No, not your email. They're
I
sending this
know.
in the app.
I know, but if they're
Mhm.
going to notify you and the app is down,
Right,
but you had to register to get in the app.
right.
Yes, but if
They're
their
not using
system
that.
is down, their email is down.
Right.
Mm.
Right. So that's why I want to see how does this work in real life. So they're saying they won't send a notification every single time there's an outage, but if it
Mhm.
sees that users are confused and looking for answers, it will determine if a notification would make things clearer.
Hmm.
So we'll see. So they're running the test in the United States. We'll see what comes out of that. But my first question was, if you're down like you were on Monday, you couldn't send anything.
Mm.
The only thing is to let the news know or Twitter have a breaking news item. Facebook
Somebody
is
will have
down.
to make a phone call to somebody else.
Right. So, and the other part of this is that they're launching a feature called account status that lets you know whether your account is at risk of being disabled, meaning that, I'm thinking like it's a one more strike, you're out, kind of like you're breaking the community rules. Remember we saying the terms of service about what you're doing. So they're going to have a one-stop shop to see what's going on with your account. If you think Instagram has made a mistake with a post of yours that was removed, you can appeal by selecting the request a review option in this tool. So they're putting in a feature where it is going to tell you if your account is banned, or if you have a post that you shouldn't post that. We're going to give you a pat on a tap on the hand, whatever they're doing. So they're going to put that in the app also.
Mm-hmm.
It's called account status.
Okay.
So, all right. So Facebook.
Oh, mercy.
Facebook
Okay.
is launching Campus to keep college kids connected. Isn't this how
Seriously?
Facebook started?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going back to the roots.
Do you think that college kids even have an account?
They don't have Facebook.
They don't use Facebook.
They should do Campus on Instagram.
Yes.
College kids are on TikTok and Snapchat. All right, so this is from
right.
Facebook.
Okay.
But they didn't have a chance on Instagram. Go ahead.
So Facebook Campus was built to service the students of a single school. So, the school would have a network would be totally different from the one from one school would be different. It's not interconnected. So it would be like Harvard would have their own, or
Don't
Princeton
they
would
have
their
their
own.
own?
No.
I'm gonna ask you this, TJ. They don't have their own community within the campus.
No,
I mean,
well, colleges have they do have networks where they have where the kids can go online, and these are the rules of this house, or this is the campus, or this dom
also to give them
dorm.
alerts, like if there's something dangerous going on campus, and
Right?
stuff
But
like
see,
that.
this is Facebook saying we're going to make a Facebook just for the students in that in that college, which is not what the college is doing. This is separate.
Okay.
So it's going to be Facebook where you post things and stories and stuff like that. But only the kids that go to that school will see it.
Are they going to do MySpace too?
I don't know what they're thinking.
How far back are we going with this foolishness? Go ahead.
So I was like, what? They see, and again, Facebook dances around the real problem of privacy, and especially what's going on with the whistleblower and the stuff that they knew. And I said, when did they know? How did they know it? And who did they tell? What was that? I'm thinking Watergate. When did they know? When did they tell?
What did you know, and when did you know it?
That's it. What did you know, and when did you know it? So Facebook is ignoring that and going, "Hey, here's this little campus app. I want that." So I was thinking,
I'm stunned. Who is in this? Who is in these focus groups that decides that these things are good things.
Okay, so I've been reading a lot about Facebook and trying to get into their mind. So this
Yeah.
is the deal, that what's happening is that Mark Zuckerberg is the CEO, creator, founder of Facebook. So it's his baby. No one can tell him what to do. He has advisors because it's a corporation. They have vice presidents, they have advisors, they have business things and that and that. And they
Focus
all
groups and
put their reports together and say, "Here, Mr. Zuckerberg, we think you should do this," and he goes, "I don't want to do that."
okay.
Who's going to tell him what to do?
Okay. So the real answer is it's just stuck on stupid.
He doesn't care about privacy. He said that.
Yeah, he told us that over
I'm
5
thinking
years
maybe
ago.
like more than that, I believe. I think it was like 10 years ago. He doesn't care about your privacy. So what are you going to do? Is the government going to make him? Now, this is what I think the government can do. They can break up Facebook because they broke up AT&T. Remember that? So that's what they could do. They could, I don't know if they could make him step down. Maybe, maybe not. But this is from what
declare him legally insane. I don't know.
Right. So I don't know.
Incompetent.
It's his thing. He's Dr. Frankenstein. He's that's his baby. He gets to say what. And then remember a few years ago when they bought Instagram, and then the Instagram founders stayed for a couple of years,
and
then
they said
they
we're
left,
out.
and it was a big deal, but nobody was talking. This is because of all of that. Those two guys was like, we don't want this. We don't want you guys to do this. We don't want Mark Zuckerberg to do this to Instagram. So we're leaving. They couldn't resolve it, so they left, and not in a good way. So put all the pieces together. It's like, this is his thing. He's not going to change. Who's going to make me? It's kind of like Trump.
Bless him.
So what's going to happen? Facebook has to be regulated, broken up, and they have to get rid of Zuck. I don't know how, but those are the things. Otherwise, it's going to continue as it is because there's no one to make him heal and make him,
I get it.
It's like going to school. There's a principal. Well, he's the principal. So
it's his company. I mean,
it's his right. See,
I'm not mad at him. I'm just saying I don't know who's making these.
I don't know.
Who decided that
from
campus
what I read,
was a viable thing? But
from what I read, that Zuckerberg the book stops with him, and if he doesn't like whatever the advisors and people are telling him to do, because that was one of the things that they told him not to make that change in the algorithm, which led to this, and he said, "No, I'm doing it anyway because it's his company." Like Carolina said, it's his. He can do what he wants.
Yes.
So I present that to everybody, and let's see what the comments are. Anybody want to say anything about Facebook? No,
we're done.
Okay.
I mean, we're on their platform. I mean, hi, y'all.
Well, you have to think about it. Do you really need Facebook? When it went down, I was just like, I got other things to do. But other people were like losing their minds. Okay, Mark is in. Okay. Mark says, I have lost 4 followers this week. Please respect my privacy during this difficult time. We now return you to the BizChicks Daily already in progress.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm this week I was looking back at last week. I made little clips to put up on that I'm gonna put up. You put up on shorts and reels and TikTok, saying all this about owned media. We've been talking about owned media, which means you own get your website. That way you're not beholden to Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey or Twitter or TikTok, because those places, they can do the same thing too. They can do what they want. And you're at their mercy. So
there you go.
You leave it like that. But people aren't leaving Facebook. They've been, every time something goes wrong with Facebook, Cambridge Analytica, before that there was something else, people say delete Facebook, and they don't. Or they do that. Or they leave it alone for a few days, angry and mad, put the toys down, and then but what's going on? I can't stay away from it. And they come back on Facebook. So we shall see. This is a story that's going to continue. Get your popcorn. And I'm done. So that's social media news for this week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is our broadcast for this week, I
Okay.
think.
Yes,
Terry,
it is.
you want to make a couple of announcements?
Yes, I want to let people know that we are having a workshop. BizChicks is having a workshop this weekend on how to do better on YouTube and the basics of YouTube channels. So if you're interested in that, let us know and we will provide the link. Can you put the link in the chat there, friend?
I shall do that right
Thank you
now.
so much. It's going to be tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested or you know someone who is looking to enhance their channel or get to know more about how to do YouTube, uh, let them know so that they can sign up for the class. Um, Also, I want to say that we are really excited about the community that we have started for Biz Chicks over in the circle. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, if you're looking to join the Biz Chicks community, you can simply text Biz to 33777 and it'll give you an opportunity to become a part of our community. We love you. We're looking forward to connecting with you. Also, once you do that, we will send you the Biz Chicks standard operating procedure PDF so that you'll know what it is we do here at BizChicks and how we do it because we are not about convoluted crap. We want you to be able to understand what we're talking about, right, TJ?
That's right.
We're not here to try to impress people. We're here to try to help you and to enhance what it is you do. So it's all about you.
Yep.
With that, I'm going to turn it back. Is it
I
in
got
the
a
chat now?
I got a question. Yeah, I put it in the chat, but
Okay.
TJ, how do
Mhm.
I put it on the back channel for
Oh, there
um
it, there's a little
The back
the-
channel, I think there's a
is
little
it a
arrow
leaf at the
button.
bottom or an arrow?
I
And
think
then
it's
it
like a
yeah,
little
I
opens up
see
airplane or an
that.
arrow or
it
something.
opens up a chat.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's a pencil that you're supposed to do, and it says add a chat member to if I
Yeah,
want to.
because it's a back channel is a one-on-one. It's not a one
Oh,
to
so I
many.
can't put it in there for everybody.
Right.
No.
Right.
Everybody.
And that's like with Twitter Spaces. If you're in Twitter Spaces, you can pin a tweet and everybody can see it. That's what I like about Twitter Spaces. You can pin a tweet and then everybody can see all the tweets that you put in.
Okay, I might
But
need to put it
but
on the.
Clubhouse is a one. That's a one-to-one direct message.
You might have to put it in your profile.
Right, that's what I'm thinking because I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Put it in your profile and then you tell people to go to your profile.
okay, Anne wanted to say something. Go ahead,
Okay.
Anne.
In the back channel, you can create a group up to 12 people, and you can actually, everybody is in that group, and they will get that same back channel messages.
Oh, nice. I didn't know
Thank
that.
you, Anne.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so let me
That's good
try
to know.
that then. I was like, let's see. Cheryl is here. And who else I saw? Donna.
Mm-hmm.
This is just interesting. I'm just learning some stuff here.
And that's
Yeah,
what we're
good
here
to
on
know.
Friday.
Thank you. That's what the
So,
But
community
yeah,
is about.
that's really good. Alexis, Cheryl, Caroline, Ann. Hey, John. John, let's see. You are from where? Diesel Coffee. Well, welcome to BizChicks. We're onto our Tech Life Weekly. We're about ready to close out. Thank you for tuning in. All
mm-hmm.
right, so I'll put this in the link in for Ann and Caroline and Cheryl and Alexis on the back channel. Now that I can do 12 people.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
Buzz. And Green Earth Travel.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Donna's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Donna.
All right. Thank you.
We want to thank you for your time, and we want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day, and we'll see you next Monday for Coffee, Tea, Thoughts, and Conversations with the Biz Chicks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.